to another episode of Mr. Rogers' Kitchen. Today, it's kind of wet and rainy in Denver, so I figured today would be a nice day for a good, easy potato soup. So that's what we're going to be making today. Let me grab my apron and we'll get started. I hope you're all having a good weekend. I know mine's been all right so far. You know, some days you just have that day where one thing happens and then every little thing kind of makes you mad. Today was one of those days. I caught my shirt on the back door of my car and it ripped off one of my buttons, and you know, it just kind of threw off the rest of my day. So like I said, my video cooking is one of the things that relaxes me. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna, like I said, make an easy pot of potato soup. The first thing that you wanna do is I've diced up some bacon. I've doubled the recipe that we're using today, just because of the pot being a little bit larger. So first thing you want to do is cook your diced bacon, and so that's what I'm going to do first. Now as soon as that's done, I'll be back with you. All right, now that our bacon is cooked and starting to crisp, you want to pull it out and just put it onto the side. Let me go ahead and get our bacon out of the pot, and I'll get it put aside, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, as you can see, I did go ahead and scrape the bottom of the pan. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit for our next couple of steps. And I did save some of the grease from the bacon, so I'm going to pour that in there. And we're going to use that. That should be about enough. You don't need a super whole lot. We'll add just a hint of vegetable oil, just to make sure we have enough. And next, we're going to go ahead and add our onion, our chopped onion. Having this food processor makes things so much simpler. And here at Mr. Rogers' Kitchen, we're all about simple. So that was just one medium-sized onion. I mean, you can use a sweet onion, a white onion, any kind of onion you want. Again, that's the good thing about cooking is it depends on what you like. So you just want to kind of saute these until they're soft, and that'll take about 5 minutes. The good thing about this soup is there are several ways to make it. So you can use flour and make a roux, kind of like a gumbo. We're not going to do that today. We're going to use just a plain stock that I made. We're going to use the new immersion blender that my mom Sylvia got me for my birthday, and that will help thicken our soup rather than making that roux with the flour. So I'm going to saute these onions really quick, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, we're back, and the onions have softened, so everything is good there. I'm going to add in our minced garlic. But again, you just want to cook that for a minute or two till it is fragrant. So we're going to let that do that. I made my own chicken stock using this Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken base in water. It's got the instructions right on it. Again, Better Than Bouillon. If you are going to be making a roux, now would be the time. You want to make sure you've got enough oil in there, and then now would be the time to sprinkle in the flour and kind of let it thicken up. But again, we're just going to use stock and milk because we're going to be blending our potatoes. Pour in the stock first, and this is the order you want to go in. So we're going to pour in the stock. You want to just make sure that's all good and mixed up. The good thing about this recipe is it's going to be nice and thick and creamy without using heavy cream. For the potatoes, I used a mixture of Yukon Gold and Red potatoes. You can Peel them if you'd like, take the skin off. I like the skin, it just adds a little bit of extra flavor. All right, we've got our potatoes in there. You just want to cube those up, and the only thing, you can cube them, you can slice them, dice them, however you want to do it. The smaller the cubes, the quicker it's going to cook. The bigger the cubes, it's just going to take a little bit longer. So now that we've got the potatoes in there, we'll pour the milk. We'll stir all of that up. And then we are going to let it come to a simmer. Get those potatoes nice and soft. That can take anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes to longer, depending on how many potatoes you got, how big they are, things like that. So you just want to monitor until those potatoes are soft. Keep stirring it occasionally so that nothing sticks to the bottom. You just want to make sure that it's all mixed around. I will watch it to make sure that the potatoes get soft and nothing sticks to the bottom, and once that happens, I'll be back with you. All right, welcome back everybody. We've been simmering now for about 30 minutes, and we're just going to check and make sure that our potatoes are done. And you just want to find one of your bigger chunks, and if you can pierce it with a fork like that, they are done. Now we're going to use our immersion blender, or if you don't have an immersion blender, you can use a potato masher, you can use the back of a fork, you can use anything that you've got. And you don't have to blend all of them. You can still have some chunks left for your soup. That's going to be completely up to you. That's left a couple of chunks in there for us. And at this point, you're going to want to add sour cream. And when we doubled the recipe, it calls for about half of this 16-ounce container. Now we're going to add in some shredded cheddar cheese. And we're also going to add in the bacon. Again, if you're not using bacon, that's completely fine. And you're going to mix it around. We're going to add some salt and pepper. You could always add more salt and pepper to taste as you put it into your bowl. Now we've got our salt and pepper in there, we've got our bacon in there, we've got our cheese in there, we've got everything in there, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to turn down the heat just a little bit. I'm going to whip up a nice little salad with some mozzarella and maybe a couple of little tomatoes with a vinaigrette. I'm going to bake a little bread, and I'll be back with you. All right, so here we have the finished meal. We've got our soup, made like I said, a little salad with some spring mix, some mozzarella and tomatoes and vinaigrette. And these are some seeded sourdough rolls. And so for your potato soup, you can finish it off however you want. I'm gonna add just a dollop or two of sour cream, more cheddar cheese on top with some green onions. Again, if you save some of your bacon, you could put that on there. If not, it's already in the soup, so there you go. There is our rainy day dinner. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again for spending time with me. Thanks for your likes, subscription, comments. I really appreciate it. And let me know down in the comments what you want me to cook next. Thanks, and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.